Okay, this is something you guys can make if you don't have any speed loaders for 22 Magnum. You could see here that this is a key ring, that these are zip ties, these are straws, and then the bullets are right here, and they're pushed up about a ½ inch into the straw, and then this is a keeper. Another alternative for a keeper is one of these right here. There's a lot of different things you can use for keepers. And showing the belt here, this is how it would work. The gun would be here, and you're always going to reach on your right side for extra bullets, and you simply would pull down on one of the bullets, load it, or two if you wanted to grab two or whatever. So very, very low profile, and you can set it so that it rides even higher. But you can see right here, you got 6 shots, you get to cover, you don't have a speed loader, or maybe you do have 1 or 2 speed loaders. But let's say you want more ammunition. Well, you got 6 rounds here, and what you do is you pluck the bullet out of the straw. So I'm going to show you a nifty idea where you can do this. This is a good idea for you guys that carry small pistols, the real tiny ones like the North American Arms revolvers. For you guys that carry Bond armed Derringers, you got 2 shots of 22 Magnum. You can pluck a couple rounds right here. If, say, that was all you had, and you got to cover for being in a self-defense situation. In any self-defense situation, we want to get to cover. That's the very first thing that has to come to your mind is tactics. Not necessarily the shooting part, but the tactics. You can think of the tactics as something to get you prepared so that you have the advantage for the gunfight. So a lot of people don't think about that. They think about just shooting first, when sometimes it's faster for you to get to cover first and then prepare yourself to return fire if you would need to, if you are receiving fire coming to your area. So anyway, there's that. And then you guys know about how I like appendix knives. And the reason why this is a 3-inch blade here is because for default, depending on what parts of the Twin Cities you're in, there might be regulations as far as the blade length. So I keep it 3-inch for everywhere. If I'm out in the country, I might have a bigger blade like a Bowie knife or something like that. But for default, just think of it as 3 inches no matter where you are, and make sure you check your local, state, and federal laws on knives and stuff like that. It's kind of confusing sometimes with knives. But the advantage of this is your waistline, it's going to be kind of bowed like this, and there's a gap here so you can quickly reach for appendix for your knife. And a lot of times, close quarter situations, the knife is much faster than the gun. So this can buy you some time while you get to your gun. And say you are done with the knife, you can't put it back in the sheath. You can always toss it or put it somewhere where nobody can get it. Whereas a big Bowie knife, you know, if you're done with the Bowie knife and you go to the gun and the big Bowie knife is on the ground, they can take that Bowie knife and stab you with it. That's what I'm saying. So these small knives are nice. You can get rid of them really quick. So if you're in a defense situation and you were going to transition from your knife to your gun, you could whip this somewhere and get rid of it real quick, or somebody couldn't use it on you. So let me talk about the stuff that you're going to need to make this. It's real simple. This is just a little idea I want to pass by you. But you know what? Even before that, I want to show you different ways you can do this. Okay, this is paracord. This is called a cord lock. You can buy these on Amazon. This here is a loop that I made, and this here is bat tape. Or not bat tape, but hockey stick tape or bat tape, whatever you want to call it. But I got this in the hockey section. And then there's some of this right here. And this stuff is real sticky. You can use this to fix up them holsters and stuff. You know, them cheap holsters where you have too much room. For example, this is a gallon holster. Notice that it's black right here. Say if you got a real long one, you can cut it off and you can tape it up with bat tape, black bat tape, or hockey stick tape, and I'll show you an example I did with my buck mark here. So I'm going to show you the materials for this stuff, but I just want to show you guys what I did with my Browning buck mark. I found this one for my Browning buck mark, which has a 5.5 inch barrel, but this was actually for a 7-inch barrel, so I cut it off. And notice how it looks pretty good because I put black bat tape on it. So you can make your own holsters. And this is a gallon size 11 for the Browning buck mark. And a lot of you seen my single action 6-shot 22 here. You've seen my single action 6-shot 22 Chiappa with a 5.5 inch barrel. This happens to be a gallon size 2. So you can carry this around in this holster here if you wanted to for concealed carry or whatever. Or if you're just on the range. So this is an idea here too. You can use paracord right here and cord locks. Or what you guys can do is you 2-shot guys for your Derringer, maybe you want to make a necklace. You can make a necklace. This can hang down your neck or whatever. This is made out of paracord. And the same concept as you pluck the round one at a time or 2 at a time, whatever you want. So we got these 2 things. So what you'll need is one of these punches. This punches the hole. And the thing I learned about punches is you always want to make sure you have another material on the bottom. Have another material on the bottom so that the punch edges don't go dull. So if you have a material underneath the straws, for example, when you're punching out a straw, you have this material on the bottom, so that way this punch, will last longer and it'll stay sharp or whatever. So there's that. So you got a punch right here, obviously for paracord, a scissors, and then a Milwaukee marking knife or marking pens. I like these Milwaukee marking pens because they can mark on even wet surfaces or oily surfaces. This type of marker will mark on just about anything, which is really nice. But I don't use it on oily surfaces. I just use it for the straws and different projects I'm doing. Obviously, you got the cable ties or zip ties, they call them. So you got these. A lot of the stuff you can get at the dollar store. You want this for your paracord ends, because on your paracord ends and stuff, you want to make sure that you get them so that you melt them a little bit so they're strong, so they don't fray. So you want this right here, a lighter. And then obviously the straws. Now, this isn't like a McDonald's straw. This is like a commercial straw. I don't know where I got these, if I ordered them or what, but this is a type of straw that's a little bit stronger. And well, all you have to do is just find the type of straw that you can put a 22 Magnum down and it'll stick real good. That's all you have to remember for the straws. Obviously a ruler, you want one of these. And the paracord, so that's another thing right there. So it would look like, once again, it would look like this on your belt. And this is just a sample here. This is a cheap law enforcement belt. It's a $10, $15 belt. It's called UTG duty belt. But you can find these type of Velcro belts on Amazon. So here's what it looks like. These are all hanging down. And you can do your own style. You don't necessarily have to do a key ring. You could even do metal key rings for this thing too if you wanted to. So there's a lot of different styles you can use. So there's 6 rounds right there. Another thing that you guys seen before is this is a $20 bullet pouch for 22. It's said to hold 100 rounds, and I found out that was true. But this holds 200 rounds of 22 short for my 6-shooter. So some days on the range, I'll have 200 rounds of 22 short on me. So essentially, if I only bring that gun with me and I'm wearing it, I've got 200 rounds on me, which is more than the average person has on them, even when they conceal carry. But obviously, if you got in a defense situation, you'd have to open this up and pluck one at a time or something like that. So another thing here is just a quick little sample of what you can do with I got some 22 short rounds here. There's 6 of them. This is for my 6-shooter. And you can wear this, and what you do is you pluck the bullet, and the retention is the undersized hole here, so it does take a little bit of force, like maybe a pound or two. You could wear this as a necklace, and you could pluck the bullet because it's real close to you. You don't have to do any reaching or anything like that. And then I mentioned to some guys online about making a bracelet of some kind, like a leather bracelet or something that you can wear where the bullets are like this. Now, typically, a lot of people would assume that you would grab it from the rim and then just directly put it in. But I'm using the rim as part of the retention, so that's why the bullet's facing this direction. It would be nice if there would be some retention system where the bullet is facing this way and you pull it out by the rim, but it's got enough retention so that you're not going to be dropping bullets and stuff like in the grocery store or wherever you're at, you know what I mean? So, but I think a necklace is a great idea. And like I said, you can do it with something like this too. You can make your own stuff like this for 22 Magnum. I don't know of any 22 caliber size straws I could use. I've tried, but I couldn't find any that were going to match up with 22. So this is 22 short you're looking at. This is 22 Magnum right here. Now, the other thing about these is you don't necessarily have to have 2. You could put on 10, you can put on 1, whatever you want. And because they're individually fastened or whatever, you can take them off, put them on when you want. You can put them in different areas and stuff like that. You can wear some as a necklace. You can wear some right here. You know what I mean? So if you're at the range or something, you can make one big one or something so that you can pull rounds off and not have to like reach in your pocket or anything like that. But the rounds will be what they call your workspace. Your workspace is basically terminology that gun guys use for when they're loading magazines. Like, for instance, here's the gun. My right hand is the gun and my left hand is the ammunition. Notice how if I have the gun right here and the ammunition's right here, it's close to the gun, which means workspace. It's close and it's got a close proximity workspace is what I'm talking about. So it's a shorter travel to grab from here than reaching deep inside your pocket and trying to fumble around and grab a couple of rounds, because you have the rounds closer. The closer the rounds are, the better. That's what I was saying. If you have a revolver in your hand right here and you're trying to reload, you could pluck rounds from your wrist with a wristband, put the rounds in like this, and that's a very close distance workspace. This one's a little bit further, but what's even further is your down deep inside your pocket. This one here is about the same as your belt line, but then you got to open it up and grab a couple and stuff like that. But you want to keep everything close to your workspace as you can. That's the objective to speed. Not just for magazines, but for loose ammunition if you don't have speed loaders. Or even if you do have speed loaders, you carry like something like this for extra ammunition or whatever. Or carry something like this for extra ammunition besides the 22 Magnum speed loaders. So you always have extra ammo on you. But yeah, that's kind of a concept I wanted to show you guys. It's something that's very inexpensive that you can do, where you can get the bullets right where you need them in that close workspace, where you can pluck them off and put them in the gun or whatever. So it's a neat little idea. I talked to a guy that has a Bond Arms Derringer 22 Magnum, and he liked the concept because, you know, something like this you could wear around your neck or your pants loop. Like, even if you're not wearing a belt, you know, the loops that you have on your jeans, you can put this on there and then adjust the cord lock, they call it, right there. And that's exactly enough where you can have it dangling a little bit, but not too far. So you can adjust it wherever you want. So the technical name for these are cord locks. You can find these like on Amazon and stuff like that. I love these things because they work good with paracord. and not just one cord, but you could put two in there. You put two in there and stuff like that. So that works out pretty good. But yeah, this is called uh, construction foam. It's stuff that kids use. You can find it in Walmart and Sheets and stuff. It's for cutting out uh, cookie cutter type stuff, where you cut out little animals and projects for kids and stuff. But it works good because it's a foam material, but it also has some tension. So when you poke a hole in it, you'll notice that it's difficult to get the bullet out unless you give it a good tug. So this is something temporary. This is by no means something that's going to last forever, but it's going to be good enough for you so that you can grab a couple rounds. So this is 22 short. So let's say if you had a Bond Arms Derringer 22 short, well, then you got this little convenient thing you can tie around your neck. If you don't want it around your neck, you can just, put it in your car or somewhere and just pull it out later if you want to use it on the range or whatever. You know what I mean? Or like I said, if it's a defense situation, you probably want it on your body somewhere ready to go. But obviously, a lot of people aren't going to be having just a Bond Arms 2-shot for defense, but some might carry one of them. So this is an idea for you guys. But anyway, thanks for watching. So I showed you the materials and stuff like that, but always be thinking about ideas that make life simple, not just in our normal world, but in our gun world, our gun and ammunition world. You want to make things that are convenient, that can help you make life a little bit easier. Like for instance, on the range, if I got a whole bunch of these, I could just pluck one at a time if I need to, because if you got a Bond Arms Derringer, you got 2 shots, and it's much easier to pull down bullets from your necklace or from your side or whatever right here. Obviously I've got a revolver that I put in here. It's the Ruger LCRX 6-shot 22 Magnum, 1 7/8 inch barrel. That's my preferred revolver that I like to carry, even though it's a 22 Magnum. And then speed loaders, and then this right here. So, but anyway, thanks a lot for watching, you guys.